Hey, what's going on guys, Migzuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a Temur control deck for standard best of one. So like any other control deck, we're trying to kill some creatures, counter some spells, draw some cards, and then take over the game with some big spells of our own. So let's get into the list, but first of all I want to talk about the Kahira Companion. We're basically a quote-unquote creatureless control deck, so Kahira acts as a free card. I say quote-unquote because Kahira reads that each creature in your starting deck is either a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast card, and our opponents are going to think that we are a creatureless control deck because typically that's what people think of when they see Kahira, but we are running one beast, and that's Elder Gargaroth. It's a pretty fun cheese tactic to have this one powerful creature in our deck because a lot of people just don't expect it. Elder Gargaroth's really good. It helps us take over the game against aggro, and it's something that mid-range and control decks also have to respect. We have Shock as 1 mana removal. I would be running Frostbite, but the snow mana base is really bad in a 3-color deck, and we still want 1 mana cheap interaction and removal, so Shock makes the cut. Negate and Decisive Denial kind of fit at the same spot. Negate just really good right now, really good against any control mirrors, ultimatum. Even the aggro decks have non-creature spells that are important to counter, and at the absolute worst case scenario, you can counter the sorcery or instant side of a adventure creature. Decisive Denial acts as a kind of worse negate. It is a little bit harder to cast, but it should be fine because if your opponent's playing on curve, then they typically won't have the 3 mana to pay for the negate anyways, and it can also act as a removal spell. It doesn't look like we can do much fighting, but with the Gargaroth, Shark tokens, Magma Opus 4/4, copies of creatures we make off Epiphany, and Kahira itself, we actually have a fair amount of creatures, so Decisive Denial can be a worse negate, but it can also act as a removal spell, which is why it makes the cut. For more removal spells, we have Fire Prophecy, kill a thing and cycle a card. It's really good, can help you dig for more answers. Iteration is amazing. It's a basically 2 mana draw 2. It helps you hit your land drops, get deeper into your deck, and find exactly what you're looking for. I am in absolutely love with this card, or sorry, that was phrased a bit weird. I'm absolutely in love with this card. Sorry. Iteration, amazing. Moving on. Divide by Zero. We are in best of one. Basically, we want a learn card. Divide by Zero is the best one for the job in this particular shell. We get to either bounce something, or you can kind of use this as a Aether Gust while returning a spell on the stack to its owner's hand. You can bounce your own things if that ever comes up, and you get to learn. We'll get to the learn board. We have Environmental Sciences to hit your land drops, Teachings, draw some cards, remove a artifact or enchantment, remove a thing at a bad rate, make a big creature, or go super wide. Dispute, cheeky one of Dispute, might catch a couple people, and it's still passable even when it's cast on turn 3, like you can hit an Annex or something like that. Saw it coming, Universal Counterspell, only 3 because it can be a little bit slow in the deck and we have other ways of countering spells. Crush the Weak is our first sweeper. It's really good against a lot of cheap creatures, and it has Foretell, which can come up. I'm actually a pretty big fan of this card. Is really good right now, at least in my opinion. Prismaric Command, kill a thing, destroy an artifact, make a treasure, draw 2, ditch 2. A very versatile card, really good against mono red. They have a lot of artifacts like Cleave to take out, and it's passable against a bunch of other stuff. If you're against a control player, you could just draw 2, ditch 2, and ramp. If you're against something aggressive, you can draw 2, ditch 2, look for more answers, kill a thing. I like the command. I think it's earned a spot in the deck. Also, the treasure can act as mana fixing. Sometimes you won't have green for a little while because it is our like 3rd color. It's the least important color in the deck. So if you're missing green, you can always make the treasure off command. Intervention is a removal is one of our sweepers, the other one being Crush the Weak. We have so much removal in the early game, I didn't think we need too many sweepers. Basically, you exile a spell from the yard, and then the intervention deals X damage to each non-dragon creature, with where X is that card's CMC, and then all the creatures get exiled. So we have a couple ways to enable this. You can ramp it out with Opus by discarding the Opus. You can cycle a Shark Typhoon like on turn 3 to have a basically 4 mana sweeper that deals 6 to everything and exiles the board on turn 4. So we have a couple ways of turning this on. I'm not sure if this is going to be better than Storm's Wrath, but I think it's worth trying. Rika Moment as a 4 mana growth spiral effect. We draw 2 cards and ramp. Really good in any control mirror. Helps us get ahead on mana. Helps us refuel our hand. Gargaroth we covered when we were talking about Kahira. And these are like the over-the-top quote-unquote win con spells. Shark Typhoon, you can slam it, can start generating a bunch of sharks. If not, you can cycle it and just make a massive shark. Uncounterable Threat is really good. It replaces itself. Big fan of Shark Typhoon. Opus, deals 4 damage, taps some stuff, makes a 4/4, draw some cards. Really powerful card. You can't exactly ramp it out, or like you kind of can with the other Opus and the command, but I'm just trying to hard cast this like on turn 8 and hopefully catch a couple people at instant speed. We're going to see how it turns out. Sublime Epiphany, you guys know Epiphany. If we're playing a draw-go game, minus the sweepers and Gargaroths, and I guess iterations, then Epiphany can be pretty good, because we're trying to hit our land drops anyways. We have a couple creatures to copy, and I don't know, I haven't played much Epiphany, but I think it can really come in clutch in this deck. The mana base has the Triome, really good, has land types, can cycle, all our colors of mana, all the pathways, some basics, 1 castle because we have some islands and the triomes, and we're trying to, again, generate a ton of mana, so castle might come in super clutch, and passage to, you know, help thin out the deck and fix our lands. So that's going to be it for the list, guys. It will be in the description down below as always. If you like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing. It motivates me to make more content. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Let's get into some games. Okay, mana is a little bit weird. I think we keep this. We can find green a bit later. I'm going to start with holding open Shock. Look like Gruul. We're going to need some lands. That is a bit awkward. I'm still just going to hold open Shock. I'm not foretelling anything. Let's go, land 3. I'm expecting a Robber of the Rich or something. Yeah, Rimrock Knight, sure. Rimrock dies to Shock. Let's go, land. No land, but iteration. Iteration into some lands. Alright, well. Hand. Library. Exile. Oh, at least we found some lands. It's not amazing. And it's not ideal, but it will do for now. Hall Monitor as well. Especially running a 26 land deck, almost missing land 3 is kind of sketch. Okay, I'm grabbing the 1 forest. Vantress being tapped is awkward. But I think it's okay for now. Let's pass with everything open. Land is land. We get to progress our mana base regardless. And it's not like we can't do anything with 3 mana. We have plenty of options. Opponent's going to attack. I'm going to make a 1/1 and try to trade with this Hall Monitor and incite some action. It also gets me further into the deck, meaning that it's more likely for me to actually find land 5 for this Gargaroth. And when I say land 5, I mean another untapped green source. If the opponent wants to shoot this shark, that's fine. Frostbite, yeah, no biggie. We take 2, but it's okay. Okay, well there's land 5. It's tapped, but at least it's land 5. And Charger comes down. So we can go command into Prophecy, and the opponent might try to cleave us because they have 3 creatures and 3 lands, and command really doesn't like that. Well, I mean, command really does like that, actually. I mean, they really don't like command. So let's see what happens. Then we can't command and Prophecy. The blockers. I'm going to pass the first strike damage. Okay. Do I take this? Can I afford to take this damage? It's close, right? It's not a lot. It's 2 more damage. And instead I can make a I can command for a treasure and 2 damage. Or we can hold open Saw It Coming for like an Annex, which I think is better. And if the opponent doesn't do anything here, then we just command anyways. And the opponent doesn't do anything, so we can actually Eureka Moment if we want. And it might be the time to do that, because Command can still take out an Embercleave. So we're going to go for this. Tap land. Cool. I'm going to play the Passage first to thin the deck. Get a bit more blue, I think, because we have red in our hand. And more blue can never really be a bad thing. So what's the plan? I can just play Gargaroth and then hold open Fire Prophecy. I can command, take out a thing, and then play Gargaroth. Hull Monitor just might make it so that this can't block. So do we just take out the Hull Monitor? I think we do that. I think we go make a treasure, 2 damage, and we take out the Hull Monitor, make a treasure. And we can start taking over the game with these Gargaroths. Auto pay. Let's go. 5 mana 6/6 is really tough for mono red to deal with. And if they spend their whole turn taking this thing out, somehow they would need like double Frostbite or a series of combat tricks with like Fervent Champion or something like that. Then we have Gargaroth plus Sod coming next turn. 2 attacks. I'm taking this block. I'm gonna go even wider. The more blockers we have, the harder it's gonna be for them to kill us. And they can put this Gargaroth to 4, and then what, double Bone Crusher Giant? I mean, it's possible. We haven't exactly given them great stomp targets so far. It looks like that's what it is. Yeah, like I said, series of burst damage. So sure. Gargaroth and then hold open counterspell. I think that's best. We can play Iteration on a later turn. And I don't think we attack just yet. We take everything nice and easy. Bone Crusher Giant. Do I care? Not really. We could just Fire Prophecy it away. Frostbite my 3/3, that's fine. We take 2 for doing this, but it's not a big deal. And I like having both of these cards, so I'm going to decline. Eureka Moment, tons of card advantage, very nice. I'm going to Expressive Iteration, try to find land. Well, we found land. Land has been acquired, that's for sure. I think we just make another 3/3. Make it even harder for them to kill us. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 lands. I don't always trust this thing in the corner. It usually tells me I have 1 more land than I do. So we can Eureka Moment into Pathway. So we can foretell this. Cool. We just have to be careful to leave open a blue source. Annex. I think we counter Annex, right? Yeah, let's counter Annex. We can probably find more counter magic, like Denial, for example, or the Cleave. So we ramp into a counter spell. We're looking pretty good right now. We're feeling confident. Opponent has no red mana available. There's a Sod coming. We'll start with an Iteration. To the hand. Library Exile. Do I slam Shark Typhoon? I think it's a little bit cruel, but I'm sure as shit attacking with both of these creatures and going even wider. I can even start gaining the life to make sure they really don't kill me. Yep, to damage. Okay, opponent goes to 5. I can slam this and I still have 3 mana open. I think I just pass with everything up. We can cycle Shark Typhoon, make a 7/7. It's not a huge deal. Second Fervent Champion, sure. This is also fine. Would you like to go to combat? No. 5, 6, 7. And we kill them with Big Shark. Oh yeah. Just the way I like it. Absolutely farming mono red. Guys, I'm telling you, Gargaroth is worth it. It absolutely takes over games against aggro. Okay, the hand's really slow, so we'll hope the opponent's not going to come out the gate super aggressive, and we're going to keep it. On the play, it'd feel a lot better. Okay. Nice. It looks like Naya Adventures. Could just be mono green. We'll see. Okay, mono green. Okay, 3 Sentinels. Very interesting. Gargaroth's really nice to have. I guess we just foretell. I'm not going to cast Iteration right now. Like, there's no point. So, Triple Sentinel isn't very scary. It's what they can play off the Sentinels that kind of worry me. Okay, it is Gruul. Alright, we take 3. Another Gargaroth, sweet. So that means that this is probably a green, and I'm going to get it down as green. Next turn, if I don't draw land, I'm probably going to cast Expressive Iteration. Dispute looks really awkward here because of all the Sentinels. We'll see what they try to cast. We'll see if we need to saw it coming or if we could just cheese out with a Mystical Dispute. They cast Gargaroth. Easy dispute. And we take 1. Okay, that's really good. We managed to get this out of our hand and counter a big spell while also not taking much damage. So, really good. Now, do I Iteration or do I foretell a saw it coming? I think I foretell saw it coming. While we still can. Iteration's really good for catching up. Counterspells are really clunky in the hand. Or not exactly catching up, but like taking over the game. So we're going to foretell second saw it coming and hope they just have a bunch of bombs that I can counter. Like if I go turn 5 Gargaroth, turn 6 draw some more cards and counter a spell, that's really solid. And I know I have the mana for it, so there's no need to draw and try to draw into that mana. Okay, take another 3. This Sentinel Clock is starting to put in some work. That means like no questing beast. We might still see like a Love Struck beast though. I wonder what they kept. A bunch of mana dorks and a Gargaroth. And nothing. Okay. I'm going to cast my 6/6. Which is annoying because we have to tap out for a turn. With all this interaction up. But I think it's worth it. Ooh, that's a lot of attacks. I block. And I'm gonna go wide. Against Gruul and red, I like to make 3/3s as long as I can afford to. I'm good on cards. Rimrock Knight, okay. What, like another Rimrock Knight? Double the power, Unleashed Fury, okay. Well, I think our Gargaroth was worth it. It forced a ton of action. This can be blue. You know what? Before I actually cast that, we're gonna go Iteration. And then try to hold open double counterspell. Or do I just have command and then another theoretical double counterspell? I don't think I need double counterspell, so I think this is a good iteration turn. Okay. Very interesting. Opus to the hand. Library exile. So I can, in theory, cast Eureka Moment. But I think that's really bad. I think I'm much better off just playing my land and saying go. Which feels really bad. I have to basically drop 2 really powerful spells off. But I think for the spot that I'm in, it's definitely worth it. So what's the opponent have? Ton of mana, 1 more spell in hand that I can counter, plus Opus, which is coming down soon. Sure. I go to blockers. I block. This could be cleave, and it would not surprise me if it is cleave. To damage. Nah, I'm just gonna shoot now. I don't want to take 3 more. So, kill the Rimrock Knight. I ramp. Now, right in this window, the opponent can resolve an Embercleave, which is super awkward, but the Rimrock Knight will die. And I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 mana with the treasure. Okay, they sack Kazul's Fury. Okay. So it doesn't look horrible. It doesn't look amazing. Actually, it looks pretty good because you have the Gargaroth. What am I saying? Gargaroth down. And now we have some counter spells. We're chilling. Gargaroth, 3 counterspells, technically a fight spell, and an Opus. So yeah, we're chilling right now. And there's another land. Looks good as blue. Go wider. We're still at 9 life, which is pretty healthy. They only have 2 sentinels and 1 random card. I haven't even had to use my counterspells yet. I mean, to be fair, this is like an Unleashed Fury combo deck, but it does not seem to be working too well for my opponent. If they don't do anything during their turn, I can just Opus. And they scoop it up. Man, you don't even let me cast my Magma Opus. But yeah, they're losing this game. We have Decisive Denial, 2 counterspells, and a Magma Opus. So we're absolutely chilling. Okay, we're facing Yorion. Hand is pretty good. We have Dispute, Shark, and Opus. Prophecy's not amazing, but I expect to have some removal in my hands. Like, they're gonna have some too. It's alright. Tap Jwari Ruins. I'm gonna go for tapped Castle Vantress. Just get the blue source down. Nice and early. Good draw. They go for another tap line as well. So I guess I'm... Well, I can get blue here. Oh, sorry, I can get green here. I mean, we kind of want red. I think we just go... I mean, what... Okay, let's be honest here. What red spells am I really going to cast? Iteration. Command. Whereas it looks like I need a ton of blue mana for the moment. So this might actually be green and blue, and we just hold off on red for a minute. I kind of vibe with it, honestly. Okay. And I'm foretelling. I don't think I'd counter a Cultivate right here, because I have a ton of counter magic otherwise, but it might be correct too. I just want to make sure that I can get this foretold. They buy Yorion. Okay. Iteration. Punished. Nice. It's fine. It's like the only card in my entire deck that's red that I'm like, yes, I would cast this now if I could. We'll find some red mana. We're a 26 land deck. Haven. Okay. Haven's fine. The opponent has 3 mana. I can make a 1/1 shark. Try to get further into the deck. If they want to like Heartless Act or eliminate a 1/1 shark, like that's totally fine. And there's our red mana, which is still kind of awkward because you want to play a land off iteration. So I think we just hold for a turn. And then we cast iteration next turn. Then we still have 3 mana, so we can have Dispute and Sod coming up, or Denial and Sod coming up. Cool. I don't exactly want to try to ramp with the Opus. I kind of want to try to resolve this thing. Shock isn't a great draw, neither is Prophecy. Both pretty bad right here, and the opponent's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. I could shoot my own shark to cycle away this shock. And that might be worth it, because the shark isn't exactly bringing me much. But I can double spell a Yorion down, so I guess we're just passing. Okay. Not amazing. But if they have a Yorion that doesn't actually counter anything, and we have another red source, then we can shoot it twice. So yeah, I've talked myself into this. And now we can play iteration. I think I will fight over this iteration if the opponent tries to counter it. That's really bad. That's really bad. Guess I put this in my hand. Library Exile. I don't think I need an intervention. And yeah, we miss a land drop with a 26 land deck, so unfortunate. It's not like we haven't drawn cards. We have drawn our fair share of cards. But the fact that we have so many counters kind of reassures me. And at least iteration got us deeper so that when we do start finding land, like, we know that there's more coming, I guess. I don't know, we know that there wouldn't have been land anyways, is what I'm trying to get at. Okay. So now we have Eureka Moment open at instant speed, which is pretty nice. The reason I took it over Shark Typhoon is because he gets us deeper into the deck. Okay. 1, 2, 3... Opponent, Auto Tapper wants to hold open Shock instead of Dispute, so that's pretty interesting. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I play tap land. Opponent has not cast a spell in a while. These Trowms are really nice for fixing. And this shark is slowly but surely chipping away at the opponent. Nothing? Okay. There's a Dark Boar pathway. And opponent's just not doing anything, so we're gonna Eureka Moment again. Nice. Guys, this is ridiculous. I can't hit land for the life of me. I can't even, like, main phase these, because I need a ton of mana to fight a counterspell war. Okay. End turn, I'm discarding this Shock. Oh, I have to discard another card too? Alright, we're discarding this Prophecy. It's fine. Man, I wish we had some more lands. Okay. If we hit a land off this, we can double Eureka Moment, which is pretty nice. Opponent just scoops it up. Okay. I guess we just out-card advantage the Ultimatum deck without hitting any lands, so that's pretty interesting. I guess at some point we're going to start resolving these bigger spells, and we have a ton of counter magic to protect them, but I don't know. Weird game. Alright guys, and we are back. So I think it's safe to say the real MVP of tonight was the Elder Gargaroth, but that could just be because I faced a ton of aggro. And the one time I faced Ultimatum, the matchup was super awkward, and the opponent really didn't do anything. They played a bunch of lands and then conceded. But I think we were in a good spot regardless of how that game would have turned out, because we just had so much counter magic. Anyways guys, the deck seems like a lot of fun. It's not like crazy tier 1 OP, but it could definitely contend with what's in the meta. So if you want to try it out for yourself, the deck list will be in the description down below, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.